I had this shirt on yesterday, but whatever.
Oh, great. Well, I didn't have this shirt, so it's a new combination.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's drink some wine. Hi, everyone. I'm Bryan Hinschberger.
And I'm Paul Hinschberger.
We're the Wine Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
We're drinking wines from Tuscany today. Not just Tuscany, but from Chianti. Now, Chianti, I would kind of say arguably is the most famous wine region of Italy. Because people are like, oh yeah, I like Chianti. I love a nice glass of Chianti. What I find a lot of people don't necessarily know, but it's a simple little misunderstanding, is Europe is all about regions, not grapes. So Chianti is the region. In fact, it sits in between Florence and Siena, and kind of in between is the giant Chianti zone. Chianti is made from Sangiovese Grosso. So, as are many of the grapes from Tuscany, if you have ever heard of Brunello di Montalcino, that's the Brunello clone of Sangiovese. Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, it's the Brunello Gentile clone of Sangiovese. Morlino di Scansano, we're going to get there, also Sangiovese.
Yes.
So this estate, Tenuta Maiano, beautiful, all-organic estate, they sit in the Montespertoli zone of the Chianti Colli Fiorentini. So there's all sorts of subzones within Chianti, and in the Colli Fiorentini is where they're doing all their production. Actually, most of their production. It's about a 55 hectare estate now. That only about 18 are under vine, and then they have 4,500 olive trees. So beautiful olive oil production. They do a lot of Sangiovese, obviously, but they also have some Cabernet vines. They have some Merlot vines. They have some Malvasia vines. Speaking of Malvasia, we'll get started with a little bubbly. This is called the Refrain. The Refrain is kind of their beautiful Charmat method, Prosecco style sparkling wine. So made with 100% Malvasia Nera, which is pretty cool. You don't see this very often. And, right. Yeah, I love this wine. It's super fresh, beautiful, nice aromatic. Tell me about the nose. What do you get?
I don't even know. I mean, you didn't give me enough time to analyze. But strawberries and like smoke, like something kind of grilled or
grilled strawberries.
Grilled strawberries. Yeah.
If you take a nice leaf, maybe a banana leaf, wrap a strawberry, grill them.
Yeah.
Get rid of the banana leaf. Eat the strawberry. Maybe that's not very accurate, but I mean it's kind of there.
That could work.
This beautiful freshness on this nose. Lots of cool red berry fruit.
Wow.
I love this wine. Their little estate. So Gianfranco Nigi and his son Stefano. They are they're the winemakers. They do everything. Gianfranco, his father, got his agronomist degree back in 1947, and so it's always kind of been this family dream and goal to have a beautiful estate. So in the 70s, Gianfranco also became an agronomist, and
It's our dream as well.
It is actually. If you didn't know this,
If you want to donate to our cause,
this is now a donating video. Gianfranco, when he became an agronomist himself, really started to study organic farming, organic philosophy, and decided no matter what, when he starts his estate, it will be completely devoted to organic agriculture, which I think is just awesome. So back in 2000, they finally started, and him and his son Stefano, they got together and they make Tenuta Maiano. Started with 1 hectare and now have grown it to the size that it is today, making beautiful wine. So sorry, I totally went on another topic, but tell me about this. Tell me about the Refrain.
Super sexy. It's it's sweet. It has a little bit of RS to it, or residual sugar.
Not a ton, but it's
not
there.
Not a ton, but it just makes it so
drinkable.
So drinkable.
So drinkable.
Like
sexy drinkable. That's a new style of drinkability.
Really
and the fruit is luscious, but it's not like a big bag of berries. And that sweetness
There's
doesn't
like
come...
an earthy mineral thing going on at the same time, so
Most definitely.
that complements that sweet strawberry accents.
For sure.
Very good.
The soil types here, are definitely like kind of old fossil seabeds. Really, really old, obviously. It wasn't like last week or anything.
Much like much of the earth is really, really old.
Old fossil beds, yeah. So limestone, some old, super ancient sand beds. Really cool soil types. So another cool thing about this little region, this little part of Montespertoli, is it's mushroom country of Tuscany. So when we went there, they took us to this really cool little hole in the wall. If you're a local, you know where to go to this restaurant. It's just like a door, and you just go in. And I'm like, and there was kissing each other and having fun. There's a dog, and
Sounds great.
It was awesome. And everything on their menu had mushrooms involved with each course.
Right.
It was so cool. Like
I love mushrooms.
we had this fresh like handmade pasta topped like with, you couldn't even see the pasta because there were so many shaved black truffles on it. It was amazing with these Chiantis. So this first Chianti, which was killer with some mushrooms, is kind of their old school style Chianti. This is 90% Sangiovese Grosso, but then 10% of Caniolo Nero, Malvasia, and Trebbiano. So there's white grapes involved with this, vinified together, fermented in cement vats, so no oak aging whatsoever.
Okay.
In fact, all these reds are no oak aging.
Wow.
And I just think it's super classic, clean
Yeah, that
Chianti.
concrete ferment really brings out that fresh fruit. Really high acidity. But it's also still rustic. It definitely has that rustic Sangio taste to it, but with fresh fruit. I don't know.
It's fresh. It's lively.
Great-
it's
great
inviting.
balance.
But the palate is like you said, that cement vat I think really kind of plushes out the fruit a little bit.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's delicious. So imagine
Really
that
good.
with a big old plate of fresh pasta and
Don't. Just stop.
whatever.
I would love one right now.
Well, there was another
Yeah.
dish, and it was full of porcini mushrooms. It was so good. And then at the end, the waiter came over, and he's like, pecorino ai tortufo, and it was like, we're having pecorino cheese with truffles.
Yeah.
Well, so we see that in America. Truffles are in the cheese.
Yeah.
Not this. Fresh pecorino comes out, semi-soft pecorino,
Okay.
fresh shaved black truffles on top, and honey drizzled on.
Ooh. Wow.
Damn. It was wicked cool.
Wow.
It was awesome. So, now, like I said, these guys are in the region of Colli Fiorentini. And this is their DOCG Chianti Colli Fiorentini. Beautiful, really cool expression of the local grapes and kind of more serious, but still cement vat fermentation, no oak aging. This now does blend in a little bit of different grapes. So this is 90% Sangiovese Grosso, 10% Cabernet. So a little bit of international influence on this, which I don't ever find sticks out like a sore thumb or anything.
No.
I don't get a big bunch of cab fruit on this, but I think on the palate it makes it a little bit darker, a little bit more of that kind of, not just the high acid tannic structure,
Yeah.
What are you getting on this?
Yeah, there is a little bit more of that like Bordeaux structure to it. And a little bit of the fruit, kind of even more like eucalyptus rusticness to it, but I really like it.
Super approachable. This is kind of a fun wine if you want to get into Chianti and you want to kind of see what's out there. This isn't your big, tannic, rip your face off like old rustic style Chianti. It's very approachable. It's very drinkable.
Yeah.
You could drink this for dinner even.
Yeah, it's actually more jammy, but more earthy. I don't know. It's a step up from the first one for sure.
It's delicious.
It's tasty.
So, now here's what's kind of cool. So they have this beautiful estate that surrounds their little winery, but they also have about 15 hectares that is their estate, so still all organically farmed, down in Scansano. So there's a small DOCG zone far south, way south of Chianti, actually in Maremma, in the Maremma zone, called Scansano, and you have DOCG Morellino di Scansano. Morellino is named after the local Marasca cherry, which is a type of sour Morello cherry, because of the classic tone of this Morello cherry note in the Sangiovese. And so it's Morellino of Scansano, which is the little area. So Morellino di Scansano is again Sangiovese. They do put a little bit of I want to say like 5% each of Cabernet and Merlot in this blend. But again, no oak aging here. So Paul, talk to me. What do you got?
It's just kind of I don't know. It's very very different.
Floral nose with some interesting earthy tone.
Plummy and
yeah, definitely. They're super excited to have this holding down there.
It's tasty.
And the cherry comes out.
Definitely the cherry.
Yeah, that.
I've never had that particular cherry.
Well, you now have had Marasca cherry.
Exactly.
Marasca.
That's cool. Quite tasty.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I love these Chiantis. They're very fresh. Beautiful house of Sangiovese doing really cool, very respectable organic work in their vineyards. Small little family estate making some killer juice.
Indeed.
So find these guys, enjoy, and until next time, ciao ciao.
Cheers.